Welcome to Zions Bank Stadium. I am Jared Banks. With me is Johnny Linehan as the Utah Warriors take on the San Diego Legion. Johnny, what are you most excited about as San Diego come to Harriman today?
Yeah, well, if this game is anything like this stunning Blazer jacket, we're in for a treat tonight. I'm excited to see the top-of-the-table Legion take on the Warriors, who've had a bit of a rough season so far, but have proved that they're competitive in every game. This is going to be a cracker of a match.
Yeah, the win-loss column hasn't exactly gone the Warriors' way, but that's not really indicative of how well they've played throughout the year.
Yeah, the Warriors are a great team. It's just been the bounce of the ball hasn't really gone their way this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they react with the last 3 games left of their season before they sit on the couch for the rest of the playoffs. But plenty to play for and pride on the table tonight.
You know, we've seen 3 of their matches decided by 2 points through the league play so far, and not to be underestimated here, the Utah Warriors and their potency on attack.
Yeah, well, Utah generally rises to the level of the opponent, and obviously San Diego sitting low on the top of the Major League Rugby standings. Utah has to rise today, otherwise they could get down early and never look back.
A quick update on the games we know about. New Orleans lost today, which helped San Diego stay top of the table, and Seattle winning as well against Glendale.
Yeah, some pretty crucial. Houston getting that big win against NOLA. And so, I mean, there's plenty to play for left, especially the top 4. No one is a gimme into the playoffs yet.
Let's take a look at some of your rugby basics as we head into tonight's match. Your rookie for rugby's laws of the game: 15 active players per game and 8 reserves.
Yeah, plenty of offense and defense. The reason why America loves this game is that it just continues. It's just free-flowing. Anyone can score, whether you're a forward or a back at any time in the match. You can't pass the ball forward. You can only pass it laterally and backwards, and it is continuous play, free-flowing rugby, and hopefully we see a lot of that this evening.
Now let's check out our sponsors. Tonight's match is brought to you by Sharp Business Systems. Transfer the day-to-day management of your network and print operations over to Sharp Business Systems. San Diego Sports Medicine and Family Health Center, providing the highest quality of care for families and athletes of all levels. Falcon West, for all your auto, business, or home insurance needs. AutoSource, where smart money buys. Big D Construction. Embassy Suites. And Nui, becoming more with blockchain.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen has been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
And we're back at Zions Bank Stadium as the Utah Warriors take on the San Diego Legion. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. San Diego Legion runs on Duncan in the forward pack. Look for the leadership from Eagle Lou Stanfield to be a difference maker in the beginning. And in the backs,
The back line left wingers have had a lot of success against Utah this year. So Nick Boyer's every touch of the ball could be golden today.
for the Utah Warriors, look for the loose forwards in Williams, Burgo, and Elkington to be a difference maker at the breakdown. They're going to have to be a disruptor in this match. And in the back line,
Number 13, Gannon Moore, the big USA Eagle, will be key in getting the Warriors over the advantage line with a strong ball carrying ability.
and your reserves for both teams will look to make a big impact in this match as we go forward. I know for the Utah Warriors, 3 different players that usually find themselves in a starting 15, as well as some capped players on that San Diego Legion bench. Should be an exciting match. A lot of electricity and some perfect weather out here today, Johnny. Something different for us here in Harriman at Zions Bank Stadium. We haven't seen a lot of sunshine out here. Now let's go to our keys to the match here as these sides face off in this end of season match here. Your keys to the match is brought to you by Sharp Business Systems, official office solution partner of the San Diego Legion.
So the keys for San Diego, don't look ahead. You sit on top of the Major League Rugby table. Utah's down the bottom. Make sure you don't take this one as a gimme. Utah's gonna make you earn it. Come out with pressure, get in their face, force them to make mistakes, and then capitalize on those opportunities.
For the Utah Warriors, defense, defense, defense. They've given up more points than any other team in Major League Rugby. Defense going to have to be a factor. They need to play sideline to sideline and get those wings and the fullback involved and put in a full 80 minutes here. We've seen some great rugby for them, but they've not been able to close out some matches, Johnny Linehan, and that could be a key here today as they take on San Diego.
Yeah, definitely no excuses today. Like you said, Utah's had the curse of the weather gods this season at home. Today, it looks beautiful, great weather, little to no wind. This just could turn out to be an amazing game of rugby.
Head referee Scott Green from New Zealand set to get us underway as the Utah Warriors in their black strip moving right to left. San Diego in their white strip. Utah kicking off to San Diego with their backs to the sun here in the first half. Anxious, tense moments to get underway. I know San Diego will be happy to get the ball in hand with that offense that they've got. I would look for some magic early.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do. They're just a clinical team, this Legion is. They've dealt with every opponent so far in the Major League Rugby this season, and you know, they're just a great rugby team, great rugby IQs, so Utah's up for a challenge today.
And we are underway. Ball taken in the air right at the 22. Ruck set. Waiting. Ball spending a lot of time on the ground there at the beginning. Box kick. Semple's under it. Taken nicely under pressure near midfield. Uhelan now. Crash ball goes in. Good support from the forward pack there early. Ika waits. Switch now to Reeves. O'Malley with it. O'Malley sees a gap. Ika's got it. Jensen plays the ball back inside. Big crunching tackle early. Ball stolen. Goes San Diego's way. Teo with the ball now. Switching through the back line. Big step from number 12, Connor Kearns. They'll look to play it quick. Short side. Teo calls for the ball. Dangerous hop. Finds touch, takes a lucky bounce. Lots of pressure there early. You said it, James, or Johnny, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Pressure was the key, and they're playing the ball game now, playing the field position.
Yeah, definitely. You know, territory is key. they've watched their game film. They know when Utah's under pressure, that's when they can capitalize on the mistakes. And great little box kick over there from Nate Augsburger, the number 9. Seeing no one at home for the Warriors. And fortunately for the Warriors, that one took a sharp 90-degree turn out of bounds, and they have a line out deep inside their own territory.
If that ball comes off the laces a different way, you got to think Mikey Teo could be in there for 6. Big, long throw on the line out. Zayo Hila takes it cleanly. Ruck set now. Clearance kick coming. Left boot of Reeves. Useful find of touch there. Smart play. Reeves been good with the boot. That combination of Reeves' left foot and O'Malley's right foot been productive for the Warriors.
Yeah, that was a great clearing kick and everything that you need. But going back to that line out from Jeremy Lieber, number 2, throwing in for the Warriors, that was an interesting call, almost going 15 meters to that second hash that you see close to the midfield. That is a bit of a risk when you're within 5 meters of your own goal line, but Utah obviously playing with everything, with really nothing to lose now and everything to prove.
It's only a gamble if it doesn't work, John. And it worked, so we're still in the plus column here now. First set piece for San Diego, taken clean off the back. Kearns in there again. Elkington doing the job.
Straight off your feet first. Nice. Straight off.
Scott Green says defense off their feet.
Seven
Players
back.
must support their own weight going into the breakdown. That not happening there. San Diego waits. They'll take the free kick and touch on the far side of the field here. As the sun continues to shine, we've been absolutely cursed with weather here on the home field in Harriman at Zions Bank Stadium for the Utah Warriors. I believe our first 4 games were in the snow.
Hey, well, we had it easy up here in the box, so I can't complain, but it is different there on the field. Interesting decision off this penalty, you know, about 30 meters out. Could have been an easy 3-point kick. They opt to go for the corner. Clearly sensing blood in the water early are the Legion.
I'd agree with that this early in the match. Nice contest, though. Matt Jensen getting up in the back. Still falling San Diego's way.
No, you're fine now.
Big crunching crash ball. That's Pifoletti on the crash. Finds the offload. That's Dino Waldron on the crash. Now we set again. Straight out in front of the post. They go quick. Drew Gaffney in at number 7 with Sam Wu Ching not making the trip. Big quick ball. Right near the 5-meter line. Good tackle. Must get tackle there, saving the try. I believe knock on, said the referee there. Scott Green says ball mishandled. Good defense early, scrambling from the Warriors, backed up to their own try line, Johnny.
Yeah, early scrambling defense there. You know, San Diego doing everything they want except spilling that ball on inside the 5-meter line. I thought Utah got a little bit lucky there, a little slow to get back on their feet. But fortunately for them, they were able to cause a knock on. But they have another scrum deep within their own territory, so they'll look to clear again through Reeves.
The first 3 games of the season, defense such an imperative for this Utah Warriors team, including that early match against San Diego. Now they've got to think that bend, don't break strategy is going to be a must here if they're going to keep this game close.
Yeah, part of the problem with the Warriors defense is, you know, they're so good, so good, so good. And then, like you said, they bend, but as soon as they break, the floodgates open and they tend to leak 1, 2, 3 tries, easy points within a short time frame. And that deficit has proved this season to be too big to come back from.
You know, the first 20 minutes of a match so crucial in weathering that initial pressure and really settling into their game. Can they play their style of rugby the way they want to play against a very disciplined and very well-coached San Diego team? Ika waits now, scrum sets. Ball's holding. Into O'Malley, big skip ball now, finds space on the outside. Simple has it. Looks for Patti in the open field. Patti's got it. Does he have the jets to make it around the outside? Rubber through. Ball takes a nice San Diego bounce. That was smart heads-up play there on the counterattack. San Diego, I think, just looking for the clearance kick and fell asleep a little bit on the outside.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, they proved me wrong, the Warriors. I thought there was a sure clearance kick. They spin it wide, get good attacking work early, and now they have San Diego on the back foot.
O'Malley gave it the old, yeah, nah, I'm gonna take it myself, mate, and saw a gap, got himself some open space, and you see the speed of Patti on the outside. We said it at the beginning, they had to get those back three engaged early. We've seen Semple take a good clearance kick and take a line. Now we've seen Patti on the outside. Take a look at the replay here from the scrum. Ika waits. O'Malley over the top, and here's Reeves now. Sees the gap. Perfect timing on the offload there. Sucks in number 13. The outside center has to take the bad line, and Patti, smart heads-up play, keeping it inbounds, and the grubber through. Flashes of the boot from both sides of the pitch today. As we get set now for the line out again.
Come take the line from me, please. On the line.
We'll take a look here while we get set for your 5 main ways to score in a rugby match. It is brought to you by Falcon West Insurance Brokers for all your auto, business, or home insurance needs. Of course, we know there's the basic score, right? There's our try, Johnny Linehan, and the conversion on that try, 2 points on that conversion.
Yeah, and then you have your penalty with 3 points, drop goal at any time worth 3 points, and then a penalty to try. New rule this year: if a team infringes on what would have been a certain score, the referee will deem that a penalty try and award them 7 straight points.
The full 7 points on the converted try now as we're back underway right at midfield. San Diego with it. Good tackle from Matt Jensen. Right at the gain line.
Everyone here.
Tainosa been smart with the ball so far in his start at number 10. He's really going to be crucial for them to get this offense clicking. Smart play with the boot to put the pressure right back on Utah.
Yeah, it was a really nice kick, beautifully finessed over the top, in between the back three. You know, in the midfield, it's really difficult because you want to kind of cover the backfield, but you also don't want to leak defensive gaps, so you have to bring those wingers up. And great little kick over the top by Tainosa to dribble that one inside the Warriors 22, and then put the pressure back on the Warriors with this line out.
Well, we've seen some tricks and some counter-attacking now from the Warriors. The unpredictability working so far for them. Burgo goes up and misses at the back of the line out, taken by San Diego, immediately back on the attack. A miscue at the set piece.
Whoa!
Big Facosi Pifoletti on the crash ball. He'll feel that one tomorrow. Quick ball comes. Offload is there.
Nice.
That's a try for the San Diego Legion. Scott Green's hand goes up. That looked like big number 8, Jordan Manahera. The speed on the recycle from San Diego being the big difference as you see the hit from Pifoletti there. Elkington goes to ground, and the ball very quickly taken, offload there. Johnny on the spot himself. Jordan Manahera with the score.
Yeah, beautiful little offload there from Augsburger out the back door, and then a beautiful support line there from Jordan Manahera to add the easy 5 points. And you know, they've been knocking on the door the first 10 minutes, and you get the rewards for all of that pressure. So let's see here if Tainosa can add the extra 2.
We're going to talk about the leadership from the number 9 position with somebody that has the experience that Augsburger does, playing at the international level and in the different systems that he has. To be able to have the vision to see past that first line of defense and know those gaps were there. It can be such an absolute X factor for teams to have a 9 that can play heads-up rugby that way.
Yeah, well, number 9's like that little Chihuahua dog that doesn't stop barking. You know, he has to order everyone around the field, and then he has that snipe. He knows when to go. The team trusts him. He takes that leadership for the back line, for the forwards, with that position where he can oversee everything, and beautifully well done so far by Nate Augsburger.
The conversion from Tainosa is good to make it 7-0. San Diego over Utah in the 10th minute as we look for the restart now. First impressions in our first dime here on the game.
Yeah, I mean, well, Utah's had the most exciting play with that 80-meter run, ended with the grubber, but San Diego just looks more clinical.
More technically sound. You can tell the discipline that they have mentally on the team as they set here from the ruck. 23, 24 meters out. Pifoletti comes in. Waiting, box kick. High ball as Semple gets under it. Semple and Misa Ilegalu playing it in the air. Ball takes a backwards bounce. Reeves has it now. Some conversations about what player touched it last, as Reeves kind of gave the old backdoor pass as he went into touch. Coming off of a San Diego player.
Let's go. Let's hit the line.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good in these situations, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely lucky there. I thought Utah got a little bit lucky. You could see the nerves there from Jeremy Misalingalu, the number 14, going back. Should usually let that fullback come forward. He's running forward, taking that ball. Misalingalu, the missile, backs up, showing those nerves. He hasn't had too many starts. Almost caused a crucial error, but fortunately for the Warriors, they get the ball back.
Big take from Jensen at the top. The maul rolls around. Now they set up. Ika waits. Not rolling away, says Scott Green. The defensive player, once they make the tackle, must release the ball carrier and roll away. That not happening there. And a fortunate penalty for Utah now. They'll have a little conversation about exactly how they want to play this. Unpredictable so far. Maybe that's not a bad thing for Utah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, nothing to lose. That mentality and that strategy can actually be pretty damning here for San Diego. And so as they look to go to the corner, this will be their first time, most likely, with the ball inside the 22, if Reeves can find touch.
We're fine. We're fine. We're good. We're all good.
Surprised to see Reeves on the kick, not O'Malley with his right foot from this angle.
You might have called it there, Jared.
That ball straight out in the touch zone. Touch judge running back, so maybe commentators curse there a little bit.
Yeah, definitely gave him the curse there. My apologies to Joshua Reeves and the Warriors, but San Diego will have a scrum from that point of the penalty where Josh Reeves lined up to take that kick.
Seems to be the story of the Utah Warriors season. They take one step forward and two steps back. When things start to go their way, a little mistake, something that should have been as automatic as a find of touch, now coming back to bite them.
Yeah, definitely. Those little things, you know, they can steal any momentum that you've built so far. So that is, even though it might seem like a small area so far in the game, that could be a turning point when we look back as this game goes on.
And as a forward, it's so frustrating when you work so hard to win those balls at the breakdown. You win your side the penalty, and then you see one of your backline players make a little mental mistake, and now, as a forward, we get to scrum.
Yeah, and as a former number 10 fly half myself, I understand those frustrations, and I have heard those frustrations many a time.
I've never met a forward that wouldn't let his 10 know. And sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You can see it in the eyes, right? You can see it in the eyes. Bit of the dark arts of the front row now as the front rows get to set down. Scott Green seeing something extracurricular as he switches sides now on the scrum. You'll watch this loose head side for the Utah Warriors.
Into your space. Crouch.
Augsburger making his call.
5. 6. Okay, up here, boys.
Good set now.
Up here, keep working. Good stuff.
Ball is in. Won by the Warriors. Pops out. Good play there from Johnny Ika winning that offside. Had he picked up the ball, I think Augsburger would have been onside and made that tackle. The ball's still in behind the number 8's foot there, and kind of the heads up to pull his hands away and force the penalty.
Yeah, that was touch and go there. Referee Scott Green ruling that one offside. The Warriors, great scrum as Reeves find touch this time to atone for his previous mistake. But great scrum there from the Warriors. When you win a scrum against the feed, we call it a tied head. Tied heads are very rare. They usually don't happen. So that caught everyone, including Johnny Ika, off guard. But the Warriors able to capitalize on that. Beautiful forward play.
Now for a lineup in striking distance at the 22-meter line. Uhila goes tall at the back, takes a backward bounce. O'Malley scoops and cleans it up. Now we reset into the first phase. Ika waits, Lance Williams driving forward.
Okay, if you go now, White.
Lance Williams, one of those players that we see now foregoing the football career and choosing rugby.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they get a taste of rugby for the first time, they can't look back. They love it.
Open right now.
Huge credit to him. He is just one that is still relatively young in terms of rugby IQ and experience, and just taking every chance.
Patti again on the outside. Big step and a push forward. Patti, not the most physically imposing player on the field, but having taken the field with him, he's not really a guy you want to see heads up on the outside. He has speed, and he has plenty of power as well. Showing it there. Ball lost in the tackle, though.
Hands away.
Won by San Diego with their backs up against the back of the tri-zone now. Not a deep tri-zone here at Zions Bank Stadium, the home of the Utah Warriors. Big counter ruck on. Cleaned up now by San Diego. Here comes the clearance kick. Big challenge on that. Patti waits. Taken cleanly. Now we see Reeves with it. Almost steps out of his own boots. Gets it away to Pati as we
Release
reset
now, White.
again now.
Stay there. You're fine. Don't go in.
For the Utah Warriors now, you have to think patience is going to be a key for them. As we see Angus McClellan take the crash ball. Elkington on the outside. And a big cover tackle from San Diego. As Toto Vasau comes over and makes that cover tackle, knocking the ball out. Pat Blair with a big rumble through the middle now. Quick ball again. Lost. Elkington with it. Now Putty on the outside. Grubber goes through. It's still waiting.
Not out. Play on.
Semple trying to make the tackle on the outside. Picked up by San Diego. Good clean defense from Putty recovering on the right side. Now San Diego waits.
Fine. Go back, boys. I've got a flag for my
Didn't see what the call was there from Scott Green. Knock on, I believe he may be saying there from San Diego.
Take the boys back. I'll have a chat, and I'll grab you when I need you.
He's going to take a minute and talk to someone about it. As they work over to that touchline. As I was saying before, I think patience is going to be a key for the Warriors in attack. Especially the last 3 or 4 games, we've seen it. When they're so starved of the ball and finally get their hands on it, they may tend to want to do too much to try and score quickly when they really need to be patient, reset through the phases, and allow themselves to get that platform for a good attack.
Coming into those,
yeah, definitely. So we'll wait to see what Scott Green is talking to the Legion about. But like you're saying, the Warriors, such a talented outfit, such a talented team. But sometimes that talent can be to their detriment as they try and do too much with the ball. So being patient and then sniping at the right opportunity, that's what they're going to need to do today against top of the table San Diego Legion.
We know they can strike and strike quick. We've seen them do it time and time again. Penalty going the way of the Utah Warriors.
Looks like no arms in the tackle there.
Must wrap up and use your arms. It's not American football. You can't tackle with your face or shoulder barge. You must include your arms in the tackle. So now, a chance for the Utah Warriors to get back on attack. We've seen a couple of miscues the last couple of lineouts. Can they clean it up here?
That's going to be the key, getting good lineout ball right away.
Matt Jensen tall at the lineout as they set up the maul. It rolls once, still going forward. This looks good for Utah.
Yeah. They have advantage. Yeah.
Referee's got advantage out for San Diego coming in on the side, so Utah can have free reign to test the waters, do anything they want, knowing they have penalty advantage.
Williams with a big crash ball. There's gaps on the outside. San Diego fills in quick. Look for this to stay in the forwards now. Burgo with it. Working still. It waits at the back of the ruck. Referee coming back and playing the advantage. We just talked about this pre-match, about the different ways the different referees can play an advantage on a penalty. When a penalty happens, he can either blow the whistle immediately or play the advantage to the team with the ball.
Yeah, well, generally, you know, it's territory or possession as and really what the advantage is for. If it's for a knock-on or a smaller infringement, it'll be a shorter advantage. If it's for a penalty, we'll normally see a longer advantage to really let that attacking team make the most of that opportunity and infringement. So here we saw that long advantage. The Utah Warriors didn't have as much possession as they would like, or they didn't go as far as they would like. Referee Scott Green bringing it back, giving them a penalty as they kicked a touch.
And that's something that's solely at the discretion of the head referee when he sees something like that, to make sure that those little procedural penalties don't get in the way of the run of play. It's something that makes rugby so exciting, is that it just does not stop through all 80 minutes of a match.
That's not straight.
And another miscue there from the set piece by the Utah Warriors.
Not straight. Scrum.
Let's go.
San Diego winning the scrum now, again with their backs up against the wall. A good last 5 minutes of play, though. The Warriors playing out of their own half.
Happy with the last
Again, a little give and take on the positives and negatives of the run of play, but you got to feel good if you're the Warriors about not playing with your back up against the goal line.
Yeah, now they just have to stop shooting themselves in the foot and making the most of the opportunities, because from this Legion team, it would be my guess that there aren't going to be too many opportunities today. So when you're in the red zone inside their own 22, you're going to need to come away with points, and they've failed to do so far.
on 3 separate occasions now. 2 on the near side of the field here with the lineouts. And then with this lost ball, picked off the back. Good tackle from the Warriors. 12 meters out. Defense slides. Here comes the clearance kick. Makes touch. Mikey Teo with the chase. Misa Ilegalu looks to play it quick. Teo with the mark. As we step now into our first break of the match here. First impressions, Johnny Linehan, of the first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
What you expected?
Yeah, we're excited. There's been some big hits. Exciting rugby. I'm excited for us to come back and see some more.
Are you a Warriors fan?
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town. She follows me around. So you get what's left of me. Yeah, you get what's left of me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Score from Zions Bank Stadium, San Diego Legion 7, Utah Warriors 0 through the first 20 minutes. Through the last 10 minutes of play, Johnny Linehan, we've seen the Warriors get on the front foot but not be able to capitalize on points. They're going to need to do that as they get down into that final third.
Yeah, definitely. They have a good opportunity here in the attacking third. Just 5 meters outside from the 22. Lineouts have been hit or miss so far, so this is going to be crucial from Jeremy Lieber to get good lineout ball.
Matt Jensen, so reliable in the air. He was at BYU, he is here. Switch ball, Misa Ilegalu has it from O'Malley. Good turn, they're going to want to go quick. Ika now. Franco Vandenberg on the crash. Still on his feet.
Stay there, full white.
Ika waiting from Uhila. Now out to O'Malley. Patti on the outside. That's better recycle from the Utah Warriors. Setting good platform with their forwards and getting the ball out into some space. Reeves with it, switches to Williams. Big tackle from San Diego. That's Manahera there in the tackle. Coming off of his feet.
Yeah, you're going to see there, we look back on that one, that as he made the tackle, big hit.
Playing the ball.
Got Lance Williams going back, but then he was off his feet as he scooped up that ball. And you got to be on your feet to be in the game of rugby, and he wasn't. So that is the right call there from Scott Green. Again, kind of a little bit of a get out of jail free card as that big hit put San Diego with the momentum on defense. So now we're going to see what they do as Reeves going to look to the corner again to try to get 5 instead of 3. It looks like he is.
Look, Matt Jensen's been so reliable in the air for them so far in this match, and he has all year. I would look to follow him in the line out again, and then they've had some success with a couple of rolling mauls, putting that pressure on San Diego. They entered from the side on the last one and won a penalty. I would expect to see more of the same here with this forward pack, looking to make an impression and really put their stamp on this match now here in the 23rd minute.
If I was a betting man, I bet that's what they're going to do right here. Try to get some with the rolling maul.
There's Jensen, there's the maul, as predicted. And a big push forward. Good shove as they reset, look to roll it again.
Go out 3.
Now in near 5 meters, pushing again. This is good work from the forwards here in Utah. Driving forward.
Wow.
That's exactly how you draw it up when you go to school. Go to your big man in the line out. Let Let your forwards do the hard work, and it pays off.
Spoken like a true forward there, but as a former backline player, you can have nothing but happiness when you see your forwards push over that for almost 20 meters of rolling maul. That is just beautiful work there from a really strong forward pack that these Warriors have had. Like you said, Jared, they've had success earlier in the year going to the rolling maul. Against the Legion, I would have thought that would have been different against such a quality outfit, but proving once again that rolling maul off the line out is critical to the Warriors' success, as O'Malley has a chance to tie up this game with the extra 2.
You see Matt Jensen take it high off the back of that line out, and they're able to form it up. And committing bodies to that rolling maul, knowing that this was their chance to get on the front foot, to minimize the mistakes, and to go right at the heart of that San Diego defense, and paying off in points. Even so much, the little Don Pazzi got in there on the rolling maul. The winger not afraid to get his shoulder stuck in and give it an extra push at the end.
Well, it all helps, so credit Don Pazzi for that forward's try.
I don't know if you can credit a winger for a forward's try there. Kick is up, and good from O'Malley. He's led the way for these Warriors all year long. 103 total points scored. He is 6th in the league, is Captain O'Malley for your Utah Warriors now. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
Behind him.
Lived up to it inside the first 25 minutes. The back and forth, the initial pressure weathered by the Warriors. Now they go on the front foot and look to get back on the attack again. Deep high kick on the restart. O'Malley with the quick clearance inside his own 22.
Inside.
Relieve a little bit of pressure here.
It's for you.
Now, as we talked about in the pregame, this is a chance for these loose forwards for the Utah Warriors to go to work. They need to be a better disruptor at the breakdown, in the counter-rucking, and in the tackling to slow down the San Diego attack.
Yeah, well, playing with Ada Alkington at BYU, I know that he is just a sniper when it comes to getting that ball on the counter ruck after he makes a tackle, so he could be crucial here. What I'm looking at is off this line out is the forwards defending the maul if they go to it, and then the backs getting up in the face, taking away any space early on.
San Diego says you can do it, so can we. And the maul is set. Utah up to the challenge so far, not rolling as quickly as San Diego would like. Stops once and rolls again. The ball waits at the back.
No, don't. Two's fine there.
Monahera with it. Now they reset the ruck. Augsburger. Switch goes out. Teo has it. Space on the outside. Toto Bosau in the corner, and a quick answer to points from the San Diego Legion.
Well, that was simply too easy. Obviously, the maul wasn't as explosive and as destructive as the Warriors a moment ago. But once they spun it out into the back line, we see it here, a simple decoy dummy line out the back door. And then Teo putting his mate Toto Vasau, easy strolling run for the big Fijian there in the corner. And just like that, that's the Warriors. That's been their downfall. They score and then they give up an easy score. Credit San Diego Legion, great try. But the Warriors have to do better on defense.
You know, as a kid, playing ball in high school, secondary school, as we call it in New Zealand growing up, defense was always the first thing that we were taught, because defense leads to good offense. And we saw it there from San Diego, turning good pressure defense on that clearance kick into offense almost immediately. It's almost like Utah hadn't re-engaged in the run of play as they came back from that set piece, like they were almost asleep a little bit as we wait for Tainosa with the conversion from all the way out near the touchline. We've got a good look at the angle of the kick there and push just a little bit right. Having never kicked a single conversion in my life, what's going through your head when you've got that tough angle from the outside touchline there?
You know what, Jared? I actually preferred the tougher angles, because then you get a little bit of slack if you miss. It was the easy ones that were always like, oh man, if I miss this, I'm going to hear it from everyone after the game. And so usually, though, you just kind of get in your own routine. You keep your kick the same, no matter if it's a 10-meter kick, a 50-meter kick, from whichever angle it is. But those side ones, you know, you practice them probably more than you practice the ones straight out in front, because they are fun to kick through such a small window.
Reeves now on the restart. Kick goes high and right, taken clean by San Diego. And a good tackle.
Onside.
Ball takes a bounce straight into Reeves' hands on the counterattack. Switch comes. Now Misa Ilegalu with it. Lost forward there.
Yeah.
Speed never been something I've had to deal with. You ever run out of your own shoes?
Speed's something I've never had to deal with either, Jared, so I wouldn't know about that, but it just seems like they're, Misaling Alu trying to do a little bit too much. The Warriors had that good go-forward ball there from Reeves, and then Semple spinning it out wide.
It was a good ball from Semple. The gap was there.
Come on, Nate.
The missile
Come on, mate. No,
looked like he was off to the races before he had caught the ball, and just an unfortunate knock on there. As we see this scrum get set. And an absolute gorgeous night. We're going to have ourselves a 10 out of 10 Rocky Mountain sunset here in Harriman, Utah. The score tied up. No, excuse me.
Keep it up here, boys.
7.
Keep that elbow up.
San Diego over the Utah Warriors. Ball
Keep
goes
working.
in.
Keep
Oxford
working.
waits. Better now. Held at the back.
Okay, we'll play
Stable.
that. Play that. That's good.
Lost
go
ball
back.
on the turf.
Play
Reeves
on.
picks it up. Now Gannon Moore. Big fend from
Not
Moore. Ball's
held.
at the 22. Not held in the tackle. Takes his
Catch the
feet
ruck
again.
now, 12.
Ruck gets set.
No, we're good there.
They go short side. And a miscommunication. Towed through from San Diego, and it's a foot race. Was that O'Malley or
No
Gannon
hands.
Moore on the
Didn't
recovery
come now.
there?
It's
Able
lost,
to
boys.
scoop that up. Now Misa Ilegalu with it. Backs his pace, sees the gap, gets the offload. Good clean out from Uhila there. Crash ball in, Burgo goes with it. Ika waits, now Reeves. Semple up with it, sees a gap in the back.
Yep, good now.
An absolute beauty of a kick to
Give a
ease
number
that
there.
pressure. Gonna feel like they gave up the easy one. Now let's get back on the front foot. Let's get a little momentum back our way and see if we can get this tied up before we go into halftime.
Yeah, great kick over the top by Semple, doing what Enosa did for the Legion earlier in this match. Just finding that territory, putting the pressure back on San Diego to say, hey, we'll give you the ball, but we're going to take 80 meters of the field. Let's see what you can do. But going back to that pass that went out the back and through Don Putty's hands, we saw it over on this near side with Misaling Alu. Seems like the Warriors players are just getting too excited, too antsy, looking for the next play rather than doing the one right in front of them, catching the pill. And that was one of the keys of the game for the Legion. If they can capitalize on those mistakes, that might be too big of a deficit for the Warriors to come back from. Hasn't hurt them too much so far.
They've done it once on the counterattack try that went sideline to sideline with Totovosau. Now a big push. The maul is on. Ball
Wait,
waits
boys.
at the back.
Side fast.
Box kick from Oxberger. Patti's got it. And some contact in the air. Play on, says the referee. Oh, now he blows the whistle.
Yeah, it looks like the Legion tried to do a quick line out there, but the assistant referee on the far side deemed that that wasn't okay for whatever reason. We'll find out after Scott Green has a word, but that box kick, perfectly weighted. Don Putty couldn't take that one in.
Tense moments there as Putty went up and under to take it. Smart to get up in the air to take that ball because you can't make contact with the player while he's in the air. You got to wait for his feet to touch the ground. And the short arm penalty from Scott Green for, I believe, exactly that. The contact in the air as Putty went to take that box kick. Now the Warriors right at midfield. Saying, let's scrum and get a good set piece.
Okay, I'll put you
The
on
gaps
the
have been there for the back line for the Warriors. Just a couple of miscues, a couple of communication errors, and we really could see this all tied up. We'll talk about it some more.
Okay.
Patience, patience, patience has got to be the mantra for the Utah Warriors as they go and attack. You don't need to score it right away. We have yet to see them go 4, 5, 6, even 7 phases of just good, solid attack to set themselves up a platform, to suck that defense in, and to give their backs the space on the outside that they need.
Yeah, and it's so difficult from a defensive standpoint to keep reloading after someone comes at you phase after phase. Just like you said, Jared, just being a bit too antsy, impatient as the ball finds the turf again.
We see it again there on the switch call with O'Malley, and that ball hitting the dirt.
Sorry, guys.
Diving over on the top. The defense again changes the field position laterally, not vertically for us, as we wait now at midfield.
Yeah, fortunately for the Warriors to get that one back once it normally goes to ground and into play. If the team isn't going forward, they normally lose possession. San Diego Legion coaches in the box just next to our box. We heard their frustration from that call. So fortunately there for the Warriors. Now let's see if they can do something more and start building those phases.
They thought the ball was a knock-on. Head referee Scott Green says, nope, ball went backward. And then the misplay at the breakdown from San Diego to lose the penalty.
Let's get it right.
The
Someone's
scrum
been great
not
so
been
far.
the strongest point for the Utah Warriors. There's been a lot of changes at hooker for them. Vandenberg and McClellan been absolute stalwarts, as has the second row. So that tight five been good. Lieber and several others been in and out of that hooker spot, though, as they look for somebody to really stabilize that front row.
Yeah, and that'll be crucial here. Midfield, we see the split. You have 4 backs on the right-hand side for the Warriors, 2 on this side, on the near side on the left side, and 1 feeding it in. Let's see which way they go.
They go to the big side of the field. Now switch goes O'Malley. Gannon Moore has it. Tucks the ball. Ball ripped out in the tackle. Backwards for the Warriors. Isai Ligalo cleans it up. Williams is there. Now Ika waits. Ball comes through
The ball
Hila
was ripped
to
out.
Reeves. Semple waits. Sees a kick over the top. Good pursuit defense from Patti. Good pressure. Now sliding through comes San Diego. Able to take that on the restart despite the good pressure from Don Patti on the outside wing in the number 11 jersey. Slow ball now for the forwards. As the crash ball waits again. Inosa with the big clearance kick. Takes a big bounce going his way. Semple back for it all the way into the try-zone. Touches it down and will drop out from the 22-meter line. What an absolute corker of a kick. 60 meters, including the bounce, to get all the way back into the try-zone there. Look at you, that cheeky smile on your face right now.
Because I was a
You shot
former
up a little
college
early.
punter, and that's a touchback. And so I'm thinking, oh man, that hurts his stats. But you love to see that one hit the turf and roll.
Yeah, it was
The
right.
thing is, in rugby, if
You guys
that was
back.
to keep
I
rolling
apologise.
and go out the back
It was ripped
of
in
the
the
end
tackle
goal, then it would be a scrum to the Warriors all the
Behind
way
you, boys,
back
just go now,
from
John.
where Inosa kicked it. So even though it had that really nice roll to gain all those yards, or those meters, I should say, with rugby, he is fortunate that it didn't go an extra 5 meters.
Perfectly weighted from Inosa. Mikey Teo now scoops it on the drop restart from the 22. Takes a quick step, finds the outside. Patti with the tackle now. Get reset and ready to roll again. Augsburger kicks it out. Pifoletti with a couple of smashing runs. Not a lot of meters in it, but the physicality from this forward pack been good.
Oh!
The show and go. Finds the offload. Inosa had it. Ball bounces off the turf. Toto Vasau able to clean it up. And it spits out again. Reeves toes it through. Gannon Moore there with the chase. Some sloppy play from San Diego. Now the big second rower, Stanfill. I've had the opportunity to play against Lou Stanfill. It's not a fun thing to be in a tackle against that guy. That's a lot of meat going forward. Now his partner in the second row. Nasukeke with the big crash ball, spreading the ball wide. Teo getting himself into the line. Not held, gets up, gets the offload out. Flick ball back inside to Teo again.
No, man, it's a tackle.
Was that ball intentionally knocked on? Or was it swatted in the tackle?
Well, this is a tricky one because it looked like he was making an attempt to wrap and caught it with his hand going forward, but it looks like the referee has ruled with a penalty saying it was an intentional knock on. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that call, but if it is intentional, we could see the referee go into his pocket and showing Gannon Moore, I believe, a yellow card.
Here it is on the replays. We see this ball go forward. That was Semple with the touch.
Semple.
From our perspective here, it did look like he was trying to make the tackle and just happened to get that left hand up.
Let me see what I got. We've got a clear line break going on.
Gonna have a pretty serious talk about it here with Scott Green.
No, I don't believe so. I believe it's a do it.
O'Malley pleading the case.
So he's going to go sit down for that.
You think they're speaking English or speaking Kiwi here?
I think they're speaking Kiwi, and I don't think you're going to like the end result for the Utah Warriors as he goes to the sin
I understand
bin.
you're frustrated.
Yellow card, simple. It's a difficult position to be in with your fullback. You know, and a player coach, the backs coach, going to spend 10 minutes on the sideline. Utah already down 5. This hurts.
An absolute blow to all of the momentum that they were able to gain. They'd done well playing out of their own half, had counterattack, had been able to keep, for the most part, San Diego out of the tri-zone and keep this close through the first phase of play. And now, a man down here as we tick into the final minutes of this first half.
Yeah, you good? Yeah. Oh, sorry, okay, yeah.
San Diego ready to get back on the attack, back on the front foot, and end this half with some points on the board. Something to keep an eye on too. Savanaka Toto-Visau went down there at the end of play. See what kind of resilience he has in there, if it was just a little shaky injury that he can walk off, or whether there's something more serious there. The trainers attended to him, but now back on his feet and ready to go back on the attack.
Well, he's a big, tough, bruising winger. You'd love to see that on your team, not so much the opposing team, especially with Simple and the Warriors being a man down.
Now on the attack, switch ball comes. Unosa's got it out to Teo. Toto-Visau with it. Pace to beats. And a try in the corner. Smart line from Mikey Teo as he sucked in the first defender. And then to get the ball out to Toto-Visau, who then had 2 to beat, with Misa Ilegalu covering, and then Johnny Ika at the end. And a very fortuitous score for the San Diego Legion.
Yeah, well, we see it. Similar play when the Legion scored, or Toto-Visau scored his first try with the Legion. You know, just a simple miss pass, catching them off guard. Misa Ilegalu trying to use the sideline as his friend, but Toto-Visau too much pace to go around the corner, catching Misa Ilegalu out of position. And just too easy there again for the Legion, and being a man down with only 2 minutes left in that first half, that is a huge blow for the Warriors. They would have loved nothing more to go into this halftime with a 5-point deficit. Now looking at a 10-point deficit with 2 points on this conversion if Inosa can put it through.
And really heads-up play there from San Diego and that veteran leadership with Teo, knowing that the fullback was out, knowing that that gap was going to be there without the number 15 to cover, and attacking directly at that gap where he would have been. Inosa steadies himself for the conversion. Almost exactly where the last one was scored. With almost exactly the same result, that kick pushed again wide. Big Matt Jensen, he's got that motor. You love to see the big man chase the kicks on that. Credit where credit's due. That man does not stop for 80 minutes. He'll give it everything he's got. Your score now, 17 to the San Diego Legion, and the Utah Warriors 7.
Last play, boys.
Scott Green says we're going to play a few more here.
Okay, Josh.
On the restart.
Yeah, this is the last play, mate.
Not been the cleanest first half from either team. We've seen some miscues, but you called it. Taking advantage of those mistakes. We see the miscue on the tackle, the yellow card, and immediate points.
Yeah, well, the San Diego Legion is in a tricky position. You know, clearly the better team on the season, but this is a tricky thing with Utah playing nothing to lose. San Diego just trying to play, so to make sure that they don't give up any easy points and stay ahead on this ladder.
That is halftime from Zions Bank Stadium here with the Utah Warriors and San Diego Legion. Your score, San Diego 17, Utah 7. It is halftime. We are back for more next.
Long. I have a talk, Angus. We're keeping our elbow up. My hours bring it. Stand there, bud. Mate, keep it up. Let's go. Yeah, just keep it up.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of a sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Tooele. From humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows, it's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
We are here at Zions Bank Stadium with a friend of rugby, former Utah Speaker of the House, Greg Hughes. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you enjoying our rugby out here with the Utah Warriors?
I'm loving it, and it's a packed house. It took me longer to get from my home in Draper, or here in the parking lot, to the field than from Draper to the stadium. So that's a good thing. It's a good sign.
We've got ourselves a scene going here. How do you feel about the growth of rugby in Utah, being one of our leaders here in the state?
So look, I fell into rugby and started to love the sport way back when I went to Australia back in 1989, and I love the sport. It's a growth sport. There is no spring football. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting something different.
Right.
We've seen these spring football leagues fail, but this sport needs a space. It's growing. You can see it out here, and I see the league is growing and expanding. It's a good sign, and it's such a fun sport. Everybody I know that watches it wants to see it more.
So what would you tell to somebody that's never seen a game of rugby before what to expect?
You don't have to know the rules. You'll start to figure it out as you watch it, but it's hard hitting. Everybody's worried about concussions. Watch people that don't wear helmets and pads as weaponry, but go out there and hit hard. Watch the kind of fundamentals you see in terms of the tackling and the athleticism. It's unmatched. It really is.
Now, here in the state of Utah, we have one of the largest participations in youth rugby with Utah Youth Rugby as our governing body. That's got to be something exciting to see as a funnel now to come up to professional rugby and the growth here in Utah.
Look, that's right. Seeing that foundation grow, seeing parents and kids understanding the sport more, being more involved, being able to see professionals at their sport, it's all upside for this sport. Look, I got my Brisbane Bronco jersey.
We need to get you a better jersey, though. That's a rugby league jersey. We got to get you a proper rugby jersey on.
I knew you'd give me grief about that. I knew it, but it's good. It's rugby. It's good stuff.
Thank you for being here with us with Utah Warriors Rugby. We appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, Warriors Nation, you guys have a good time. Make some noise. Come on for these Warriors. We got to beat these guys. We got to beat San Diego.
Left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town. She follows me around. So you get what's left of me. Yeah, you get what's left of me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen has been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, We have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. From humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows, it's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
Very excited to have with me in the booth now head coach of BYU Women's Rugby, Coach Waka. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. And let me, hang on. I got to push a button there for you, Coach. Now we got you. Congratulations to you and BYU Women's Rugby on your national championship. What an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the first time. It's a sweet feeling. Finally have won national championship, so we're grateful. We're excited.
Let me hang on. Let me fix you right here. There we go. Now we can get you a little better. Talk about some of the highlights for you of your rugby season and seeing the growth of rugby here in Utah for some of your women.
Rugby is growing here in Utah, and we're really getting the girls that come from the feeder system here in Utah in the high schools, and we're grateful for the Utah Youth Rugby, and the growth of rugby here is really good for the program. So we're really grateful to have all the girls coming in and really participate and contribute to our program.
Now, how have you enjoyed seeing another Fijian score the double so far this morning here, or this evening here in Harriman?
Oh yeah, I'm excited to watch, and the girls get to watch some professional players play and see how it's done at the professional and level. And they're doing good. So hopefully our Warriors can come back and put some points on the board.
Coach Waka, thank you so much, and all the best as you continue to build your program and all the futures.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog. I got this. That's why I use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy, so Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried and Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Let's take a look at the scoring highlights now from the first half of rugby here as we see San Diego Legion on the attack, the big crash ball, and the flip from Augsburger to the big number 8, Jordan Monahera, dotting down the opening try of the match.
Then the Warriors struck right back off the line out and a great rolling maul. Beautifully executed here from the Warriors, as they've done many times this season. They get the ball to the back door. And then it's the red hat, the man who threw the ball in, Jeremy Lieber, who touches down for the Warriors.
From the set piece on the counterattack, Mikey Teo to Toto Vosau in the corner for his first of 2 and almost making it look too easy.
Then again, is this a replay of the one before?
Say it isn't so. Beats Misa Ilegalu and Ika right at the end for his second, and your score, San Diego Legion 17, Utah Warriors 7. As we are live from Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman, Utah, with Major League Rugby getting set for the start of the second half. The sun has gone down behind the clouds. There are no more shadows on the field. We saw a couple of times with some of those high balls, Johnny. The sun a factor in taking that ball cleanly. Not going to be a case in the second half.
Yeah, normally it's pretty windy up here on the hill of Harriman in Utah. Beautiful venue. That wind has certainly not been the case today. It is a great evening, a gorgeous evening, which is surprising because as a Utah local and resident of this great state, this last few weeks have been awful in terms of weather. The rain has stayed away today and has treated us to a delight this evening.
We've had 4 seasons in one day today. It started out with snow up on the mountains, wind and rain, then fog, and now a gorgeous evening of rugby as we get set. Second half action. Mikey Teo waits with the ball at midfield, and they will kick off to the Utah Warriors. The score, Legion 17, Warriors 7. As we get the final head count, players out of the tunnel and out of their crucial moments with the trainers at halftime. Warriors still playing a man down, and they will for the first several minutes of this half, as fullback James Semple was yellow carded in the 37th minute for an intentional knock-on, shown the sin bin by Scott Green. Advantage to San Diego right now as they are playing a man up. 15 on 14, taken by Elkington cleanly on the restart, dodges one and a crash ball in. Still on his feet driving forward. That's the kind of effort you'd love to see from Ottawa Elkington.
Let's pass back, hold back.
A substitution here in the first half earlier for the
Eight,
Warriors.
12.
Right at halftime, Don Patti subbing out. And Fetz Vanikolo takes the field. Vanikolo, a difference maker in his physicality on the outside.
Yeah, Vanikolo, a bruising runner,
No, you're
leading
good.
try
You're
scorer
good.
for international team Tonga. When he gets the ball, he's explosive, he's exciting, and so the Warriors want to utilize that, and that's why they made the tactical substitution early in the second half.
Penalty and the free kick given. Reeves finds touch. Useful kick that. A good 30, 40 meters of advantage gain there.
Yeah, you can chase him. You go. That's for Black.
Takeaways from the first half and adjustments. Johnny Linehan as we look to San Diego now on the line out.
Yeah, well, San Diego, you know, they're right where they want to be coming into this critical challenge for them to stay on top of the Major League Rugby standings. They're just going to want to maintain possession, maintain territory, not do anything fancy, not give away any easy mistakes, and let the Warriors get a sniff to get back in this, because they're in the driving seat at the moment, Jared.
Listen, guys. We can't have both teams coming in and closing the gap. Okay?
Didn't like
no,
what
don't
happened
leave.
there.
Don't leave. Come to your mark.
He'll set the channel again. There must be a channel between the two teams. The ball, when thrown in, must go cleanly down the middle of that channel for a fair contest at the restart. Of course, the advantage to the throwing team, they know where the ball's going. Taken cleanly off the back.
Over.
Ball bounces off the turf.
White.
Augsburger with the 360 box kick on the clearance.
Overcooked it.
Straight out.
Yeah.
When the ball is kicked outside the 22-meter line and it goes out on the full into touch, that ball comes right back to where it was kicked, and the possession changes. So now, with the Warriors getting ready to go on the attack, what do you expect to see from them, or what would you hope to see from them as we get into the second half?
Well, I know they've had a lot of success with their forwards and being a man down in the back line. I want to see them take it in, get that maul, but like the commentators curse, they do the opposite. They go to midfield to get him more, but they will want to get early touches for Fetu Uvainikolo out here as he's lined up on the right wing.
Crash ball going forward. Good clean out from Jensen. They go short side. McClellan there. Ika takes it. Dancing is Ika. Now finds O'Malley.
Yeah, Jeeps.
Ball's cleaned out.
No.
Waits at the back. Tackle comes
ball's
over.
lifted,
The challenge
play
is on. Ball spits out the back of the
fine.
ruck.
Oh, good run.
Jensen finding space. Looking for the support. Doesn't see it. Smart to just keep the ball in hand and not play the 50-50 ball away. McClellan now crash ball in.
Open.
Ball sits. This is better now from the Warriors. More patient, establishing these phases. The ball comes out. Ika forced to take it. Looking for a bit of space. Backward, says the referee. Now Reeves. They're going to need to be more patient on the attack and not have to do it all in one possession. Nothing wrong with establishing these phases of play.
Counter ruck's fine.
Scrappy,
Counter
fourth and
ruck's
fifth
fine.
play. Ball lost in the counter.
Turn over.
Stanfill in there turning it over.
Number 5,
Penalty
you're off your
won
feet, you're
by the
playing the
Utah
ball.
Warriors.
Both turnovers were good.
Defending player off his
I'm
feet
here,
in
I'm
an
here.
attempt to turn
Okay,
over
I'm
that
here.
ball.
I'll sort it. Yeah, I'll talk to him. Yeah, I will.
Players just getting acquainted
5
physically
wide,
with
you're off
each
your
other
feet
in
and you're
the
playing the
early
ball.
parts
5
of this
wide,
second
yes.
half.
Yeah, we're fine.
Looks like the coaches ran on there. T-Boy. Captain O'Malley sending them back saying, we're going for the corner, we're going for blood. We got nothing to lose. We want to come away with 4 or 5 points and get a win.
At this point in the season,
the line, gentlemen.
with all the
the
pride
line.
to play for, I like that
You're
fire
on
and
the
that
line,
passion out of the
Jordan.
captain. To say, no, we're not just going to take the points here. We're going to try and make this competitive. We're going to play some footy. Jensen up high with it. Here comes the maul again.
At advantage.
Rolls quickly. Driving forward still. 2 meters out.
Get the ball. Early. Early
Offside,
drive.
says Scott Green.
Well.
And again, some talking
Hey.
between players.
Excuse me, don't come running in like that.
For those of you guys with the double-digit
the more
jerseys,
into ground legally.
Johnny Linehan,
So we're gonna play
things
here.
happen at the
Early
bottom
drive.
of the ruck that you don't want to ride home and tell mama about. And I think these two
Someone in the
teams
mid-pod.
sorting out some of that
I didn't get the
physicality
number.
between themselves at the bottom of
Hey,
these
hey,
rucks.
hey.
Yeah, well, they don't call the backs the pretty boys for no reason. We try and stay away from the bottom of the ruck. But I have caught myself there a couple of times and been stomped on by various single-digit numbers. Thank you, Jared.
I mean, I'm not saying you didn't deserve it, but
Didn't come.
more from the Warriors as we would expect. Big line out from Matt Jensen. Ball taken at the
Advantage.
back, ridden down by the defense. All waits, Ika standing over it. Time's off, says the referee. That's number 7, Drew Gaffney, late to get up off the bottom
we had
there.
this gentleman, number 1, coming in early on the drive. They must be allowed to come down.
Repeated infringements here from San Diego Legion within this 5 meter. This is dangerous territory. I think referee Scott Green might have given them their final warning. If we see another penalty in this area, they might be seeing a yellow card to their name.
Early drive by 1.
Clock continues to tick away.
Let him come down.
Wait for the return of the
Make sure they come down,
Warriors at
okay?
full
That's
strength.
2 on you
Simple,
now.
asking for a time check on the
Visual
sideline.
mark.
Reeves finds touch, standing on the 5 meter line now.
That's better. That's them all.
Ball taken again by Jensen. Lieber waits at the back.
Oh, no, out.
Ika marshalling traffic. It rolls again, driving towards the
Yeah,
line
don't
now.
change.
Williams is there with Lieber. It rolls a third time.
Another advantage.
They set up 2 meters out now. Ball is there, Ika digging for it. And another penalty going the way of the Warriors.
Yeah, I've got that.
Got to be yellow, eh? Yeah, got to be.
Do you have a
We
number
can see
there?
some conversations here with
Two,
Gaffney involved
two,
once again
two
at the
white
bottom
coming
of
in
that.
the side. 2.
Looks like we're going to see a yellow card as well.
Right, yeah.
He
We had a-
warned him
we had
on
a
the
great
last
ball going
one.
forward. 2 has come in the side, then followed by 8 in the side.
I've played in several matches officiated by Scott Green. He is as fair a referee as I've ever played with. And there it is. Yellow card shown.
That's
Looks to be number 2, Pat Blair, coming off.
on cards coming back in.
We'll get a confirmation
Time's
on that
on.
number for you as soon as we know.
Side entry.
And this is a tricky substitution that San Diego is going to have to make, because as the hooker goes to the sin bin, they're without a hooker, they're without a front row person, so they're going to have to substitute someone else off and bring in a replacement front rower to make up for that if there are any scrums. So this is a pretty big blow here for the Legion as the Warriors kick to the corner to capitalize.
And a big decision with this substitution, that back line for San Diego, their chemistry really great. You'd hate to see them lose a man.
That's
to go
good.
in the
Timing's
attack.
good.
Advantage here, Warriors,
one,
though, and they'll
two,
take full
back.
advantage of it. The maul set again. It rolls once.
Use it. That's
Lieber's in there.
Oh.
Jensen at the back now. Big shove comes on. Burgo with the drive. Persistence on defense pays off as the penalty won and given to San Diego. That's got to be a bit of a heartbreak with 3 and 4 and 5 good chances to go on the attack and not able to capitalize, Johnny.
Yeah, a huge win there from San Diego, really, as the Warriors went to that line out 4 or 5 times. And now we're going to see that substitution change as number 18, Aaron Mitchell, comes on. We'll wait for his replacement. But what I did like on that line out is you see a lot of teams, especially if an attacking team like the Warriors has such a strong maul, as they throw into the line out, San Diego aren't going to send up a jumper. They're going to wait for that person to land and get a heavy push on. That's what they did. That's what pushed them all back. Referee Scott Green gave them multiple chances to use it. They did not use it, so they lose it. Great defense there by the Legion.
So Mitchell comes on and Gaffney comes out. They'll substitute the loose forward and play with 7 men in the pack.
You're going to be able to carry on. Okay.
There's a player down. That looks to be the
Okay, number 1 is also being subbed. One, you're being
Pakaosi Pilafetti there, slow to get up. And a substitution here now as Nathan Sylvia comes in for him. Lots of bodies changing places now, as you would expect as we get close to the 50th and 60th minute.
to the mark. Yeah.
To see a couple of more here. To try and make the adjustment and take advantage of these miscues and mistakes from either team.
Yeah, Pete Folletti definitely left a mark on his game with some bruising runs and bruising tackles early on. So that's a big 50 minutes that you love to see from your big front rower.
Utah back at full strength with Semple on
Keep
the
working
field.
here,
Now
keep it
San
up.
Diego playing
Up.
a man down. Has it become super urgent yet for Utah, or with this much time on the
Wrong
clock
side
still, you
here.
think? A chance to just relax and play some rugby.
I would say
Has it gotten to panic time yet? They haven't been able to capitalize on those moments deep in their own red zone, deep in that final third. Now a chance here to go on the attack.
Yeah, well, I don't think you should ever really panic, right? Because then you're just frantic and out of control. But that is a huge blow, a huge confidence nullifier, really, that they will keep going inside the 5-meter line, and the Legion held them off. So they're going to need to capitalize on every opportunity, and that is not a good start.
Another mistake at the set piece, ball taken by San Diego as they play quick. Masakeke with the crash, clearance kick out. Taken cleanly. Here comes the counterattack. Missile with the step. Ball set. McClellan comes out with it. Now Williams. Shoestring tackle.
Cleaning the
Damage
9.
being played by the referee.
In front of me.
We'll come back to the penalty.
Just
Entering the
right,
ruck from
cleaning
the
the 9.
side, I believe is the call from Scott Green.
Yeah, you saw San Diego come through and just
18
clean
right.
out Johnny Ika without the ball,
Cleaning
drove him
out past the
back. Clear infringement. Warriors had advantage. That's why it wasn't a huge risk that Lance Williams went by himself, but you're not going to like to see that without the advantage. But Reeves has a chance to put the Warriors inside the San Diego territory. And now the line out is the first piece to this puzzle that the Warriors have to get back. Jared, I'd say they have to score within the next 10 minutes.
Good.
Otherwise, San Diego might be too good to close out the last 20.
The discipline from San Diego been the tail of the tape so far. Nothing really flashy, nothing spectacular from them.
Stay in there, the line,
Just
sit
good
wide.
clinical rugby, and the frustration now from the Utah Warriors. Another big challenge and another miscue with the
Closing.
line out.
You're closing.
Short arm penalty from Scott Green going
Scrum call.
Utah's way now.
And they're going to elect for the scrum. You know, we've seen one scrum with San Diego being down
The mark's clearly
a
set for you
man,
guys. You're
so
walking in
7
and
for
closing
San
it full.
Diego, 8 Warriors, and San Diego actually won that scrum.
It's going to be on the 15 here.
So we're going to see Utah elects for the scrum, partly due with that short arm penalty. You don't have the option to kick it into touch and retain the line out. You can kick it into touch to clear the field, but then it will be the opposition line out. So obviously Utah need the pill, they need the ball, they need the points. So they elect for a scrum to utilize that set piece.
Crouch.
And we're going to see what the backs can do, but they have to whip up some magic. I'd imagine they're going to want to do something with Ganamore on the midfield and then work that out to Fitz Vainicolo on this right-hand wing.
We've seen them do it before from the set piece. That switch from Reeves to Moore and O'Malley switching on the outside has created problems for defenses before.
I'm going to put you on the
Speed and skill from the speed players in the back line. We just need to get a stable scrum.
I'm happy.
The Warriors been better at the scrum. We've seen them struggle against teams like the Toronto Arrows, who came in with a big forward pack, and some other of those physical teams.
Crouch.
Technically good at the set piece now as the scrum goes down.
Six.
The waits. Virgo's got it at the back. Reeves. There's the switch to O'Malley on the inside. Nicely covered by Augsburger.
No. Gonna come now.
That's about as good as a tackle as you'll see from a scrum half.
Thank you.
You do what's necessary. Gila up with the crash ball. Clean out is there. Now Ika comes right. Vandenberg with the switch. Semple now. Reeves with it. And a good step back inside from Reeves.
It's a ruck. Hands off now.
waits.
Let it come wide. Let it come. That's fine.
Vanicolo's there.
Thank you.
Now to Ika. Williams.
Happy there, Kate.
Defense is up quick.
Stay.
Ball pops out to Ika and he comes short side. Looks for Vanicolo on the switch. Shoestring tackle. Desperation stuff there to keep Vanicolo off his feet. Now O'Malley with it. This is good patience from the Warriors, building up phase play here. Love to see more of their big men get involved here and suck that defense in, create a bit of space for this back line. Over the top to Missile. Step inside. Missile shakes one. Stanfill on the tackle. Ika goes to Burgo. Now Vandenberg. Vandenberg shakes one. Nice quick hands. Reeves with it. Good swallowing tackle from Stanfill.
Ball's available.
Ika digging. Short for Missile. Can he get a hand free? Ika's got it. Now Burgo.
Yep. Do you have a number there? Five.
Advantage, says the referee.
5 white, playing off the ball.
Ika takes it. Dives inside.
We have
Ball pops
advantage.
out.
Got numbers.
Now O'Malley. Williams needs to get the ball to the outside.
Off you go, 12, no!
Frantic moments. Better patience from the Warriors and frantic defense from San Diego. We're finally able to see the Warriors put 6, 7, and 8 phases of play together, Johnny.
Yeah, so that penalty there was on Nasser Keke, tackling Franco Vandenberg without the ball. Pretty blatant there. So referee Scott Green probably having a word about that. Then we see here on the near side, Misailing Alu getting attended to by the trainer. We may catch this on the replay.
Looks like he just got rolled up in the turf under that tackle.
So you talk to your boys now.
That's my worst fear in a tackle, when somebody goes piggyback on you like that and pulls you down from behind as you get your knees and ankles rolled up between you and the other player in the pitch.
Yeah, and you hate to see injuries at any level, at any player, you know, even with the other Warriors right now playing the third game in the Western Conference NBA Finals. Obviously, Kevin Durant getting hurt. I saw a lot of people on social media being like, oh, this is a great thing. But no, it is never a good thing when an athlete gets hurt.
Okay,
we want to see the best athletes play at their best, whether it's rugby, basketball, football, tennis, golf. Injuries are not a good thing. And we wish Jeremy Misailing Alu the best.
Of the great poet, laureate, and philosopher of our time, Ric Flair, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. Misailing Alu, a quick tape job, and he's back on his feet.
The line is 10. That line there is your 10.
Adrenaline may be keeping the pain away for him right now in what's probably a high ankle sprain.
Time's on.
Tries to jog it off.
5, playing the man off the ball.
Now in the 55th minute, as we get ready to reset, John Cullen comes on for Arthur Burgo at number 8. Cullen, the All-American
Discipline here, at the line out.
at the University of Utah, playing football. Rugby was always his passion. Now making a name for himself here at the Utah Warriors. And a father to be soon. Jensen takes it cleanly off the top of the line out. Driving forward now. Elkington's got it with Lieber behind him. This is better from the Warriors. Big push. Ika waits. Show and go. And a try for the Utah Warriors. Exactly what they needed when they needed it. We just talked about Augsburger being the sniper. Now his opposite number does the same thing, Johnny.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what the Warriors needed. Took them 16 minutes, but they got their great build-up again from the forwards as they take it in. You saw Johnny Ika looking, getting his man, and he knows that he has the gas. He has that low center of gravity to beat the big lock and dive over the chalk and dot down for 5 points. Now, big kick coming here from Captain Tim O'Malley to get this thing in within 3.
It was a great move as Manahera came over on the cover tackle. Ika sees it, was able to duck under the contact and dot down for the 5. Crucial kick coming now. As the captain steps back and takes a look at it. Better structure from the Utah Warriors now. Been able to stay in the attacking half, keep the ball in hand. We've seen them play to their strengths with the rolling maul, with Jensen up in the air. Now minimizing the miscues in the last 10 minutes. It seems like they've gotten back to who they are and kind of found their identity a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, so now the challenge 4 minutes before the next and last hydration break is to catch this, restart cleanly, and then get back inside San Diego's territory.
O'Malley's boot is good for the conversion, adding to his already hefty total of points scored in Major League Rugby this year. The captain doing what needs to be done to keep his team in it. Your score in the 55th minute, San Diego 17, Utah 14.
Time, mate. Wait, so the yellow's on, he can come back on.
Fourth referee sorting out some substitutions on the sideline. San Diego try and count men.
Okay, on.
Just counting numbers, Johnny Linehan, it looks like San Diego back at full strength. Matt Jensen goes up high to take that ball, knocked backwards. Elkington scoops it. There's the clean restart you were hoping for. Williams makes the switch. O'Malley now to Moore. Moore with the big flip over the top.
Over.
Good pace on the outside. Does well to stay in bounds there and not get driven into touch. Ball skips for Williams. Ika sends it to Reeves. O'Malley with the big pass over the top, and here comes Vanicolo. Nice switch to Elkington on the outside. Here's Reeves again. Ball lost, advantage being played by the referee. Warrior player down on the pitch. Looks to be holding his left shoulder.
Yeah, it's a huge blow for the Warriors with Gannon Moore getting a little bit of a hospital pass. Good defense rushing out of the attack there from San Diego Legion.
Play the first knock.
Just shoulder to shoulder, and
no advantage to White.
sometimes your body's like a ticking time bomb, and let's hope that Gannon Moore is okay, because he is an amazing player and a star to watch, not just for the Warriors, but also for the USA Eagles.
Injured player. To the scrum.
I read once on the internet, and it must be true, that it only takes between 5 and 10 pounds of pressure to break the collarbone.
From my angle.
And Lou Stanfield applying every pound of that pressure there as the ball hit the turf.
I can't use the screen.
And it looked to be a fair contest. They both recognized the ball had gone to ground, so I don't think there was anything foul or nefarious in it. Gannon Moore just coming up on the short end of the stick there.
I do like the Warriors playing that sideline to sideline rugby that you spoke about pre-game, Jared. You know, flinging the ball over to get Josh Whoopi's first touch as he came on as a substitute, number 22. Then bringing it back this side to Ada Alkington. If he could free that up and pass that ball inside to Tim O'Malley, you know, this could be the Warriors leading this contest. That sideline to sideline rugby.
Yeah.
Right now, the Legion actually holding on to that bend, don't break strategy. And just bending on defense, but not breaking, not giving up this lead.
So much great patience from the Utah Warriors, and we've seen a much different team come out in this second half. Your score, San Diego Legion 17, Utah Warriors 14. So head into the water break.
Did you see the, yeah, we see the contact? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Ready to get back underway now from Zions Bank Stadium as the Utah Warriors take on San Diego Legion. Legion, top of the table in Major League Rugby. And regardless of the outcome here, will probably stay there with the loss to New Orleans today. But all to play for, still fighting for that top seed is San Diego. And fighting for their lives are the Utah Warriors here.
Yeah, really opportune time there for the water break for the Warriors, as Gannon Moore attended to during that water break, was able to strap up that shoulder, put on the magic tape, take a sip of that magic water, stay on the field fighting through the pain and the adrenaline for this final 20 minutes to help his team home.
Now as we get set to the restart, Scott Green has us on about the 10-meter line, inside of halfway. Augsburger waits with the ball. San Diego with possession. Scrum is set. Big push from San Diego as they hold at the back. Shove comes on, still waiting. That's a good response, ball pops out. Big smashing tackle. It's number 19, Les Soloai on the big tackle. See number 12, Connor Kearns, come up. Met by the big substitute. That's what you love to see out of your reserves. Come in, make an impact, make your presence felt, and see if you can make a difference for your team.
Unfortunately for the Warriors, the damage had been done with an infringement and a penalty advantage being played from that scrum. So that big hit was all for nothing, but it is good when you see those and get the momentum flowing on your side. Sometimes that's what it takes to spark your team. So they're going to need another couple here inside their own 22, the Warriors are, to put out this attack that San Diego is brewing.
Inosa finds touch.
Franco's on your line there, boys. Line up with Franco.
Pat Blair now waits with the ball. San Diego starved of possession so far in this half. Haven't had a lot of the ball on offense. Taken nicely. Ball sets up immediately. Big shove on. The turn comes. Rolling forward is San Diego.
They got advantage too.
Step inside from Kearns. Now Augsburger. Goes to Gaffney. Augsburger with the quick step. Defend. Rolling forward. He's a half meter out. Ball is right there. Comes quick for Blair. Ball waits at the back. Nasokeke with the move. Big drive forward. Defense meets him in the tackle. Still a meter out. Ball comes out the back of the ruck. Augsburger goes for space. Flip pass over the top.
We hear the crowd start cheering, but it's going to come back as San Diego had a penalty advantage. So they had the free play. They tried to get a bit extravagant, over the top. When you have advantage, you can do that.
You can throw that ball over the top, but Mikey Teo is not that tall. Good effort to get up and get it. Good hops from the San Diego fullback. We get ready to reset again. A long advantage being played there by Scott Green. We get set for the scrum. The defense up to the challenge so far. Good discipline from the forwards there standing on the goal line to keep them out of the try zone.
They need to. They need to find a turnover as well. They can't leak points this late in the game.
You don't want to give up the easy try here from the set piece. And this is where you would hope someone like Elkington, Williams, Cullen on the restart. I would look for those loose forwards to be a difference maker.
We see Gannon Moore getting attended to with a shoulder. Same one. Looks like he's going to have to come off this time.
Left shoulder again. He's been the hammer in that back line for them all year long, so that's a big loss for them. He's assisted off the back there. Now we've got Franco Vandenberg down, holding his shoulder. Bodies strewn all over the place, and what's been a more physical second half from both teams, keeping it in tighter, keeping it in the forwards. We've seen a lot more of that smash and go than we have sideline to sideline.
Yeah, very physical rugby game. Remember, if this is the first rugby game that you've watched, then this is a cracker.
So as Gannon Moore comes off, Huluholo Mongoloa substitutes on the field. Another substitution for the Warriors as Nichols comes on. I believe there'll be a switch in the back line. Looks like Vanicolo going into the center spot with Nichols playing out on the wing. Mongoloa going in for Vandenberg. So a much different feel in the scrum now as this ball waits at the back. Holding.
Yeah.
Augsburger waits. Now it goes. Skips off the turf. Falls to
Get the
Boyer.
tackle now. Off your feet. Leave it, Black.
Sloppy play around the breakdown.
Stay.
Pick and go. 10 to 12 meters out.
I'm out. Now I'll be out.
If you look closely, number 18, Aaron Mitchell, playing without a cleat.
Nice turnover by the Warriors. That's the break they were looking for.
Great kick.
And a brilliant kick. Exactly what they needed. The turnover at the breakdown. San Diego were sloppy with the ball and not protecting that ball at the breakdown and setting that first man over the post. Stolen by the Warriors and then a big clearance kick to ease that pressure. We talk about not capitalizing on opportunities. That could have been the dagger for San Diego.
Yeah, Utah hanging on for dear life.
Hey, bring it in.
And that was a big win for them. Sloppy off the line out with the pass from Augsburger going to the ground. And that is a real drive killer there for the Legion, as Utah is able to turn that around, and then a great touch-finding kick. About 60 meters inside the Legion territory.
Thank you so
Scott Green going to give Mahoney a chance to put his boot back on. As we get set for the line out, San Diego will have it. Defense paying dividends there for the Utah Warriors. Patient on the attack and getting the try. Now patient on defense and disciplined. A much better half out of the Utah Warriors so far. Lots of moving and shaking in the line out there. Ball taken through the centers. Big step from Kearns.
Ooh.
Inosa has the kick blocked, goes to ground off the back of the referee. Scooped by Augsburger, big pass to the outside.
Oh, that's forward, that's forward.
Scott Green sees it correctly. That ball came forward out of the hands, erasing what would have been a sure try. They were both in position, just a little eager beaver there.
Yeah, well, we talk about the bounce of the ball not going the right way for the Warriors all season, and we see that. They come out, they make a charge down, it bounces off the referee and right into the hands of the Legion, and then they spin it wide. That's a really difficult pass to make. But as we watch this on the replay, Inosa's kick hits the referee, Scott Green. Augsburger's right there, Johnny on the spot, put a nice little grubber through, shakes off the Alkington tackle, then running full speed and trying to pass it 20 meters either which way is going to be really difficult with momentum carrying that ball to Nick Boyer forward. So that was a really unlucky bounce for Utah, but then also really lucky that that was called forward by referee Scott Green.
Well, fingers crossed, that's a sign of things to come. Maybe the ball will finally take a Warriors bounce here. They've been in matches into the 60th and 70th minute. The score lines of their games not indicative of how well this Warriors team has played, but they need to put in a full shift here. All 80 minutes of commitment is what it's going to take to knock off the #1 team in Major League Rugby with the San Diego Legion. Ball sits and waits now. Big push from San Diego. Ball taken. And Inosa Not able to handle that ball cleanly. He'll be kicking himself for that one because he knew he had the gap. And Boyer on his outside. They look to be off to the races again. I think that's a little of that anxiousness.
Yeah, I agree.
They've been starved of the ball. They want possession, and once they get it now, maybe trying to do too much with it too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this is foreign territory for the Legion, only scoring 17 points in the first 70 minutes. Warriors defense holding on. 3-point game, really antsy. There's more to play for the Legion as they're still in playoff contention at that #1 spot in the Major League Rugby ladder, but plenty of pride here for the Warriors to put on a show for this incredible crowd that have come out to show their support this evening.
We see McClellan come off and Solowai comes on for the Utah Warriors. Fresh legs in the front row now. They'll need it to be a difference maker. Nichols stands waiting with the ball. Warriors feet on this scrum. Playing from the knock-on.
Yep.
Look for a big shove from San Diego. Ball one against the head. San Diego have it, and they go to the blind side. Boyer there with it again. Good cover tackle from the Warriors. Driving towards the sideline now. Smart play from the Warriors, realizing where they were on the field, knowing they had to get that ball out and regain possession.
A little bit of gamesmanship there going on the sideline between Drew Gaffney and John Cullen.
Guys that know each other well, they've been in camps together before. Gaffney, Cullen, Stanfill, Inosa, so many of these guys have played so much rugby together.
Doesn't matter how good a mate you are with that opposite jersey. When he has that different color on, representing a different team, for those 80 minutes, you're at war. And that is the beautiful thing about rugby. It's a game for hooligans, played by gentlemen. So while they're at war on the field afterwards, they'll have a drink together, have something to eat, have a laugh about it. It's a beautiful game.
Another miscue for the Warriors from the line-out. Been a struggle for them. Able to win the ball back.
You're off, stay. No, stay.
Big booming kick. Useful from, that was Reeves with his big left foot. Boyer was looking for it to stay in bounds. And a beautiful find of touch. That ball coming almost from the try line all the way out past halfway. On the full. Do the Warriors have an answer in them? As we tick towards the 72nd minute, only down by 3. San Diego been better through the last 10. Since we came back from the water break, they settled themselves, they've played more structured, they've played smart rugby, taken cleanly off the line out. Switch goes inside. Barry there with the crash ball. Turned out. Tucci tries to tow it through. Ball comes San Diego's way. Nothing fooling there. Mahoney says, I run downhill. Do one thing and do it well, lad.
Yeah, Marcus.
Defense not rolling away. Silly penalty there from Utah. In the crucial moment.
Fullback must roll.
To not have the discipline to let that ball go. The pressure was there. The defense has been firm. We said at the beginning it had to be there, and they've been up to the challenge so far. The difference maker try coming with the man down.
Yeah.
With the yellow card to Semple in the first half. San Diego countered attacked right back at his spot and was able to score.
Spin line.
Answers from the Warriors, though.
Numbers.
Striking quickly here early in the second half, and then what has been an absolutely fantastic back and forth physical match of rugby. The difference here could be the substitutions, the fresh legs. You need to see one of these reserves step up and take accountability and ownership and be that spark that they need.
Yeah, this is where the reserves are really crucial because the lactic acid's building up. Everyone's tired. Reserves have to step up, make their mark on the game, and that's why they use them.
Big shove now, taken nicely off the back of the line out. Maul rolls. Blair waits with it. Augsburger says go again.
Stay there. He's through the middle.
Augsburger has it, takes a quick step inside. Missed by Elkington. Is that the dagger? Try. Nate Augsburger saw the gap, went right at Arawa Elkington, who was just a half step too slow. Maybe a bit of fatigue there showing for Elkington, who's usually got a great motor, but it's Augsburger striking for San Diego.
Yeah, Augsburger looks at his opposite number, Johnny Ika, who scored a try, similar try, but from a closer distance earlier, and he says, anything you can do, I can do better. As he runs in off that right foot, big step inside of Arawa Elkington, and dots down for 5 points to make this game an 8-point game. An outsider converted try, so now a 2-score game, make or miss on the kick.
For 21, Nick Lupian in on the conversion. Pretty favorable angle, you would have to say here.
Yep.
Makes sure of it there, adding the extra 2. And now, with just 6 minutes and maybe a bit of stoppage time to play, it is a 10-point game in Harriman, Utah, Zions Bank Stadium. San Diego Legion 22, Utah 14. I'm Jared Banks. With me is Johnny Linehan. And what's been an entertaining game, a bit more flash in the first half than we've seen. Now the second half more physical. Taken nicely by San Diego. That try, I believe, Johnny, should give them the bonus point, which is going to be crucial for them keeping that #1 seed as we're looking ahead to the MLR playoffs.
Yeah, I'm out the way.
Ruck is set. Some extracurriculars going on down there at the bottom of that ruck.
Always.
Use the ball.
Augsburger waits. Box kick comes up.
We're good.
Teo's
What's the
there.
contact?
Ball takes a bounce. Got to put a body on it, and it's Elkington. Now looking for space. Nice run from Elkington. Nichols slings it out. Looking for the inside ball. O'Malley's there.
Ruck.
Nichols wants to go quick. Short side is Uhila. Nichols gets the ball out. There's big Alex Tucci on the crash.
Oh, great play.
What a beautiful rip.
Action! Action!
I thought he was Johnny on the spot. It looks like we're coming back to an advantage.
12.
Long advantage
tackle.
there from Scott
High
Green. I
tackle.
never saw his hand go out for the advantage.
High tackle.
Quick to the spot is John Cullen, who's vice captain this side on several occasions this year. Coming on as the substitute, and a nice kick for touch. Big meters gained for the Utah Warriors here. They need it, and they need it quickly. They've been patient this entire half. Now not the time for that. Urgency, the name of the game, with 10 points in it. This is a 2-score match.
Yeah, he's them, boys.
Definitely, yeah, we've spoken a lot. Is now the time to panic? Well, I don't really like the word panic, but you said urgency. They got to score.
Urgency.
This is a set piece. They have to score. If they don't score, it's good night, and congratulations, San Diego Legion. This is as crucial as a set piece as you will see for the Utah Warriors here.
They've had miscues so far tonight. I would look for Matt Jensen, who's so reliable in the air. Cullen it is. Cullen takes it. Now O'Malley looks for the switch inside. It's Vanicolo to Reeves. Semple with the mishandle. Towed through. Scott Green blows the whistle. Offside is the call. Warriors want to play it quickly. The clock now their enemy as well as the scoreboard. Reeves looking for the call from his captain.
Yeah. What are you doing, mate?
They take the quick tap. Semple flings it over the top. Almost reckless with that pass. Now Lieber's in it. Crash ball, Elkington in support. Nichols gets the ball quickly to O'Malley. Reeves on the switch. Pressure from Augsburger is there on defense. Ball comes to Semple
Nice
again.
ball.
Switches inside for John Cullen. Cullen's away! And a try to the Warriors when they needed it the most.
And they're going to have to go quick. No time mucking around, getting the tee on the field. They got to get the ball, take a drop kick, and get this one back in play. As we'll see Tim O'Malley take a drop kick, adds the extra 2, and we're away.
Now we've got ourselves a ball game. We called it 6 minutes ago. You need one of your reserves to step up and make a difference. He started at number 8 for them for most of the year, and then an unfortunate concussion had him sidelined for 2 matches. Now, John Cullen, the difference maker. In the 77th minute, as we head into the 78th minute, and the big try under the posts, your score, San Diego Legion 24, Utah Warriors 21.
You can't delay the kick.
San Diego
1.5 minutes.
gonna take their time coming up to the line here, knowing the clock is on their side with just 3 points in it.
Let's go.
Slow on the restart. And a high, deep ball. Elkington takes it nicely. Met at the 22. Reeves has it, slings it out.
Oh, there it is.
Mikey Teo doing what Mikey Teo does. For his 8th try of the year, reads it like it's an open book. And that book's a bedtime story that absolutely put the Utah Warriors to sleep tonight. A dagger from Teo with the intercept try. A big kiss to Mama on the ball as he goes down for the score. Heartbreak for the Utah Warriors in the final moments. The last thing that they wanted to see was that man scoring a try. They got on the front foot. They made good decisions. They knew they had to throw the ball out and just telegraph that pass a little too much.
Another one gone big in for the Warriors as this game wraps up. Final score 31 the Legion, Warriors 21. Another game gone big in the dying minutes for the Warriors, but can't take anything away from the Legion. They controlled that game from start to finish. Warriors made it close at the end, but San Diego, the better team, they take away 5 points and stay on top of the MLR table.
Showing why they are the class of the league, sitting first seed right now. With just 2 more games to play, are the San Diego Legion taking a 10-point lead out of Harriman, Utah. The final score, San Diego 31, Utah 21. It was there to play for. And then Mikey Teo shut the door. We'll be back with your final wrap-up after this.
How are you, mate? Was that tackle good or?
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Is it latched around or what?
final here at the Utah Warriors at Zions Bank Stadium. I'm Jared Banks. With me is Johnny Linehan. Final thoughts from the game, your difference makers for the San Diego Legion.
Yeah, well, I thought the whole San Diego Legion forward pack really controlled the game, was able to step up, give great ball to Ty Inosa, and then obviously Toro Vassell didn't touch the ball too many times, but every time he did was golden, and he dotted down twice in the corner, and I think that proved the difference.
And you've got to say heartbreak for the Utah Warriors as they win another close match.
Yeah, definitely heartbreaking again for the Warriors. They've got to be sick and tired of it. But we see they're really close. I mean, San Diego, the top of the table, the best team in Major League Rugby, heading into the playoffs in the next couple of weeks. And Utah's right there, but they haven't been in the win column enough this season. But they are pretty close. There's just a few things they need to do to get them over the edge.
You want to talk about little differences in the league. We see the difference in a team like Houston winning tonight, another bottom of the table team beating a top of the table team. So it can happen. There is great competition and great parity in the league, but sometimes it's just a bounce of the ball.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the key, is playing that full 80 minutes. The Warriors had their moments, the Legion had their moments this evening, the Legion had more moments and for more time, and they are victors this evening.
We said it as we opened the match, the keys, capitalizing on the mistakes for the San Diego Legion, and the Johnny on the spot, Mikey Teo in the end, capitalizing on the missed pass and sealing the deal at the end of that match.
Yeah, and you hate to see it. You know, you would love to see the Warriors trying to make it a bit more exciting and go a full 90 meters. But credit to the Legion, they were able to hang on. They got their 5 points. They showed why they're the best team in Major League Rugby today.
He's the second highest try scorer in Major League Rugby, Mikey Teo, doing what needed to be done to seal the win for his team here at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. That's a wrap for us here with Major League Rugby. Your final score, San Diego Legion 31, Utah Warriors 21. I'm Jared Banks for Johnny Linehan. Thank you so much for being here with us. Tonight's match is brought to you by Sharp Business Systems. Transfer the day-to-day management of your network and print operations over to Sharp Business Systems. San Diego Sports Medicine and Family Health Center, providing the highest quality of care for families and athletes of all levels. Falcon West, for all your auto, business, or home insurance needs. Auto Source, where smart money buys. Big D Construction. Embassy Suites. And Nui, becoming more with blockchain.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.